everybody. Welcome to more STEINS. Now, you might be wondering, if you were here on Tuesday, you might be wondering, Nestor, what was the little thing that you might could have done tonight? Well, I should mention, I do not have work tomorrow. So, tonight can go longer if I choose to, but, my voice might give out, and I'm like, okay. And I'd be like, okay, we're going to have to end at a normal time and everything. But, I could go as late as I want to tonight, if I wanted to. Which is a great call, because, oh boy, there is a lot to this game. It's like, name me one other game where one moment you're cringing over laundry, and then next you're at the war with the Soviet Union. Anyways. I'll be real with you. I don't know what else to say. There might be something Saturday. Oh, there's going to be something Saturday. I just don't know if it's going to be one or if it's going to be another thing. So, we'll have to see. You guys will see it, as it happens. But, I have things that need to be discussed with. But anyways, I think for now, we should just, just get going with the game, See what crazy adventures we have going on here. No. See what kind of shit we have to deal with. See what kind of shit we have to deal with the war. We stopped in front of the gate. Oh yes, like I said, this was a good point to stop. Several U.S. soldiers have evidently been waiting for my arrival. Once we hand you over to the Americans, we're not going to get any accurate information from them. So this is it. My last chance. No, I will not marry you. Sister Moya turns from the front seat of the front passenger seat and looked straight at me. His eyes were desperate and begging. Tell me, what are we supposed to do from now on? How am I supposed to know? Please. I remembered all the soldiers in Tokyo who fought so desperately to protect me. Were they fighting to help someone else in Tokyo right now? Or were they already? I don't know. Okabe! I really don't know! Like I said, it was only a little bit ago where I was just cringing over some laundry. Do you think I can do something about this war all by myself? I couldn't even stop it when it was a decade into the future. Okay? I think I can stop it when it's actually happening. Knowing that Golshabak and Leinstein were presidents of Russia, or that they brought a dramatic end to the Cold War, that doesn't actually help anything. Look, man, you're just asking some guy who gave himself PTSD because of time travel, okay? That's all you did. I could hear the sounds of another car getting closer. Sister Moya sighed and opened the passenger side door. Get out. I exited the car as I was told. Okay! Mara got out of the van behind us and ran over to me. Mara! My childhood friend flung herself into my arms and I held her tight. I finally see you. So glad you're safe. I could feel her warmth. Myra was here. I never gone almost a whole month without seeing her before. And this was the wartime. I couldn't easily contact her like I could in the old world line. So I've been worried about whether or not Myra was okay. It was no exaggeration to say that I survived this far just to make sure. I erased the entire Alpha world line to save her. No matter what happened, I wanted her to be safe. Okay. You're hurting me. Oh, sorry. I held her too closely. I took a step back. Master, believe, you know. Master, believe she gets to see Okarin again. Yeah. Hey! You're safe, yeah? Okabe! I heard two more voices as I recognized. Ferris and Luca looked, and behind them I saw Kadede. I'm glad you're all safe. Luca, remember your training. Oh, wait, that happened on the Alpha World Line. Or did it happen on the Beta World Line? Well, it happened on the Alpha World Line. I felt myself getting choked up, too, when I saw Lucaro cry. I exchanged greetings with Kadede, too. Fubuki had grabbed her like a little kid, and she was pale and trembling. Ferris, I guess you're not wearing your maid outfit for once. It's been a long time since anybody called me Ferris, nya. Ferris spoke sadly when she put her hands around my neck and held me close. Her little pink lips got close to my ears as if she was about to kiss me. Hey! What's going on? Don't be so embarrassed, nya. She laughed mischievously. Then Ferris, no, Ruma Akira whispered into my ears while pretending to kiss me. Be careful. Don't trust the Ministry of Defense or the Americans. Adults are all liars. None of them tell the truth. That's right. Ferris had a special talent. Chest hair break. For those who don't remember from the first... Oh, wait, no, you guys would... Oh, no. This would have been... You guys would have... You'd know this after. Sheriff's cat. A fictional grinning cat in Lewis's Carol's Alice in Wonderland. You wouldn't know Sheriff's break unless if you did continue onwards from, where I left off on my playthrough of the first game. She was incredibly good at looking into someone's heart and seeing what they were thinking. Yeah. I just figured that out. One of them just tricked me. Ferris looked surprised and took a step back. That's sad, yeah. Yeah. And then I heard the sound of another engine. This time it was coming from beyond the gate and inside the base. It belonged to a black luxury car with an E on the license plate, and behind it was a minibus. And two of them stopped in front of the gates. It was time for my reunion to end. No hablo inglés. I don't know how to say I don't speak English and Japanese. My bad. An American soldier as tall as a basketball player got out of the car. Welcome, everyone! My name is Heyman. Oh, wait, I guess I don't have to, his Japanese was good, but not great. Everyone except Mr. Okabe, please get on the bus. He was smiling, but I could tell he wasn't going to let any arguments. And the other American soldiers were still carrying their rifles as they stood guard without smiles. Shishimaya and the other Japanese soldiers were watching us from a distance. They didn't try to stop us, but they were just looking downwards. Everyone but Okarin? What do you mean? There's no need to be scared. We're just going to talk to you a little, and then we'll send you right to the Okonano Defense Bureau. Come along. Okay! It's fine. Don't worry. What? Yuki, take care of Maru. Okay. Yuki nodded and put her arms around Maru's shoulder as she led her to the bus. Everyone else followed. Okay! Tell my parents I say hi. Once everyone but me was on the minibus, the minibus immediately left. The area from the front gate fell silent. It was hard to believe that this existed in the same world as all the other places I crossed on my escapes through Japan's main island. All right, Mr. Okabe, come this way. He told me to get in the backseat of the black luxury car. What would happen to me once I got inside? I tried to think about it, but realized there was nothing I could do. I was just about to get in the car when... Okabe, run! If you go to America, you won't come back alive! Shishimaya, no! Man! Shishimaya screamed and was cut off by the sound of gunfire. In the corner of my eye, I saw the American soldiers firing without hesitation. Oh no, not Shishimaya! No way. I tried to turn around when... Get inside! A large hand blocked my vision as Hammond held me down. I couldn't hear Shishimoya's voice anymore. There was a gap between his fingers. I could see that nothing was moving, and I knew exactly what that meant. I was shoved in the car before I had time to think about it. This is... I tried to open my mouth, but Hammond looked into my eyes and shook his head. I wasn't supposed to talk then. Hammond sat next to me and then closed the door. The car started to move. Soon we turned down a different road than the one the minibus was taking. America, huh? I've never been there before. But the two women I love are there. Or would be there. Wait, is Katsuru alive in this world line? That's so... No, that's some question. Those are some questions like, what's Dr. Luskin up to? What's Macho up to? Is Katsuru alive? What were they gonna do to me there? Use me as a guinea pig? Cut open my head and dissect my brain? I probably wasn't going to be able to do any tourist things. I felt like screaming, but I tried my best to stay calm. There's someone I want you to meet. Hammond suddenly spoke, and then he handed me something. I took it before I even looked at what it was, and then I checked. It was a normal smartphone. It's not locked. Just hit that button. Confused, I pressed the button as I was told, and then something appeared on the screen. Is it Katsuru? Amadeus Katsuru. Katsuru? Wait, huh? Why do I hear myself? Hello? This is freaky. I literally hear myself speak. Are you guys hearing me double? Please help. Hold on. Let's just test 1-0. Hello? I still hear myself. mic's not plugged in. Hello? Hello? Testing? Testing? 1, 2, 3. I don't hear myself! Fuck! I do. Guess I'm just gonna have to live with it. It was Amadeus Kostromowski. Why does the US military have Amadeus? I was about to ask him, and when, for the first time in about a month, that feeling came back. The whole world in all its colors began to shift. There was that feeling of instability, like my brain was unable to recognize where it was, and then the dizziness and a sense of falling like you get when you're a medic. I could hear the blood vessels deep within my ears. They sounded really loud. The sense of floating finally stopped, and my surroundings coalesced into firm shapes. Okay? It is really weird that I hear myself. Mario was in front of me. I was in the lab, in the room I knew so well. There was no trace of Okawana anywhere. Where's Fubuki? She's the only one who might understand. She was going to get embarrassed if you keep staring like that. I realized that I was staring at Maru. I looked around the room. Dario was sitting in front of the PC like always, hunched over with his back towards me. Shishiwo was reading a magazine on the couch and opened the page. I could read the title, New Ancestral Strikes Worldwide. Are you in danger? The same couch, the same cheap fridge, Dar's computer desk, the dirty curtains that cut the development room from the rest of the lab. The wall clock, which I picked up out of a truck that told me it was past 6. I looked at the calendar. It was 2010, and 2010 was already gone. It was January 2011. The world line had changed again. I was back to the old world line? Hey, Mari? This is Zakabara, right? I can't stand the fact that I hear myself. Someone in chat? Can you hear me, double? Wait a... Huh? Hello? Fuck! That made it worse. Uh-huh. Hold on. Hold on. Testing? Ah. Okay, hold on. We're gonna have to save. And close out of the game. Because now I'm not hearing anything. But hey! I don't hear myself. Oh, fuck. And now VTuber. Everything's breaking on me! Close out of VTuber Studios as well. Welcome to Scruff! All because someone was tripping crazy because she could hear herself. It was freaky. It was like I know if I like plug like a wired headphone into my directly into my mic, I could hear myself. But this is I didn't set this up with these headphones, and it just like kind of started. Also, I'm like completely lost at the plot again. Welcome to Steingate, where you only know what's going on about half the time. It's the Steingate I know. It's the Steinsgate I love. Alright, continue. Load. Alright. Hopefully nothing happens this time. Hey. Maru. This is Akabara, right? Huh? Is it not Akabara? It's Akabara. What day is it again? The 21st. Do you know who Gabachi is? Gababachi? I think I've heard of that name. Perestroika, right? Or Russia, or was it Gorbachev from the Soviet days? Thanks, Daru. Because I could. See, here's the thing where you fucked up, Okarin. Yes, Maru. You know she's not that smart. You're her childhood friend, after all. These days, when you think Russia, you think Putin. I'm sure if he was not in front of me and he glared at me, I'd pee my pants. I know Putin. He's the president of Russia, right? Did you know he likes doggies? He keeps a nakata. I saw it on the news. President. Yeah. That's right. He's the president. Hmm? Yeah, let's, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. Crazy. I was crazy once. Locked me in a room, they did. A rubber room. A rubber room is rats. The rats made me crazy. Crazy. I was crazy once. You knew someone was gonna do it. Maridaro and Shishima looked over at me surprisingly. It felt like a long time since anyone looked at me that way. I was back. I no longer had to worry about that I might be killed at any second. I felt incredibly relieved. I don't! You know why I don't? Because, yeah, you may have escaped that world line for a bit, but what if you have to go back? Oh, sorry, hold on. VTuber Studios. Please. Let me go how I normally am. Okay, thank you. But at the same time, I wondered, why had the world line changed again? I needed to calm down and think for a bit. I went up to the roof and booted up the web browser on my smartphone. Unlike during wartime, it connected immediately. I was amazed at the speed. Just getting an internet connection in the last world line had been difficult enough. I started by searching for a Golubachi, and the results came back instantly. Faceook, the Soviet Union first and last president. The August coup, the peace, and the collapse of the Soviet Union. All the keywords I hoped to see were there. As soon as I confirmed that the Soviet Union was dismantled at the end of the 20th century and no longer existed, I closed the browser. Phew. I mean, here's the thing. Absolutely, it is absolutely, like, revealing that it's, like, cool, we're back on, like, a normal timeline, like, where something like this would happen. But at any given moment, it could change back. You know? Did you think about that, Okurin? But man, 07. 07's in the chat for sure. No, not boobas. No, not the boobas. We don't need boobas for Shoshimaya. Then why had the world line shifted again? I haven't done anything. I didn't have any way to affect the divergence value. So what changed it? Had whoever had performed the first experiment in Russia undone it? Had they watched its progress for a month and then been satisfied? Were they going to keep doing it? And if they did, would I be caught up in it each time? So cold. What's the mistake to come outside without a coat on? Yes, it's fucking January, Okurin! Nothing I could come up with by myself would be anything more than a guess. I went back to the lab. The wreaths that we had put up at the entrance for Christmas party were still up. That Christmas party, huh? It had only been in a month, hasn't it? It felt like a million years ago. I had no memories of what I had done in this world line after the Christmas party. Oh, come to think of it, we left the decorations up. We should take those down. No, leave them up! No, fuck! Just leave. No, actually take everything but down but the Christmas tree. Okay, no. I'm not an animal. Take down the Christmas tree too. You and Miss Babuki collapsed during the party, right? So there was a big fuss, and we sort of forgot to clean up. Natsuki collapsed? Well, yeah, because, do you not remember that Fubuki also has Reading Steiner? Was that when the world line changed? Everyone remembered that I collapsed at the Christmas party, which means I've come back to the same world line as the one I had been in before. If this was Russia's doing, it was terrifying to think that they could control the world line to that degree. And there was one more thing. It worried me that Fubuki had collapsed too. I stood there, lost in thought. Darumaru looked a little concerned. Okay? Oh, come to think of it, I was wondering how Natsuki is doing. I quickly came up with an excuse. Fubuki is still in the hospital. In the hospital? Even though it's been a month? She says she's fine, but they won't let her leave. I heard that lately, unless you were really, really sick, they wouldn't let you stay at the hospital for very long. Was Fubuki sick with something? They still think she's got this, I guess. Shishua whispered as she held up the page of the magazine she was reading. News and fast food strikes worldwide. Are you in danger? New anaplastic? I borrowed the magazine. They were talking about this last November. I seen a glimpse of it on the news. Outside of Japan, they have seen almost 100 people up with spinal systems in Japan. There was 10 people being kept at the hospitals for examination, or as it said. So it's made its way to Japan. And one of those 10 was Fubuki then. Well, technically one of them is you too, but you're not in the hospital for it. Was it really transmittable by air? We didn't catch it at the Christmas party, did we? I knew that getting nervous wouldn't help anything, but I still wondered. Hey, didn't you go to the hospital today, Okarin? You were in the worst shape than she was, you know? Yeah, I'll think about it. I gave a half-hearted answer to Maru and then turned back to the magazine. Strange symptoms being found all over the world. Cause unknown. Sudden memory loss. Memories differ from those people around you. Losing all sense of the passage of time. Losing the ability to tell the difference between dreams and reality, and sometimes having new waking dreams. The article was filled with things like that. This was like reading This was just like reading Steiner. And it matched exactly with what Shomaya told me in the other world line. Yeah, but realistic dreams, for example. In particular, bad instance, they could almost be called waking dreams. I'm told at times you lose the ability to tell the difference between dreams and reality. There are others who say they have very similar dreams. And not just one or two. I wonder back then if Fubuki professed the reading Steiner too. Maybe the reason she collapsed at the Christmas party wasn't some new disease or the unexpected activation of reading Steiner. That would mean her diagnosis was wrong. Unnecessary tests and treatments they gave her wouldn't help a bit. It looks like I need to talk to Fubuki. I ended up going over that day. She was at the large general hospital with a medical student department located in Okamasu. But it was close enough to Akabara that I could walk, and getting there was easy. Since she might get the wrong idea if I went alone, I encouraged Maru to come with me. I hoped that it would look like I was only coming as an afterthought. But it ended up being a bigger deal than I expected. When they heard that Maru was going, Yuki and Kadede decided to come too. Evidently, they all been to visit Fubuki several times before, and they knew exactly where she was located. They walked down the halls without hesitation. It was almost 8 when the visitors' hours ended, so we needed to hurry. But as we passed the nurse's station, there was a minor commotion. A woman in her late 40s wearing a gray jersey was yelling at the doctors and nurses. Oh my gosh, is she a fucking Karen? Is this gonna be a fucking Karen situation? Enough of this! When do I get to go home? We have told you, only after you've been examined and gotten treatment you need. You aren't giving me any kind of treatment. And what was that supposed to be? A quick exam ended with It's been stuck here for a month! What am I supposed to do about my job? Calm down. There's still a lot we don't know about this disease. Without proper examination and treatment, it's dangerous. Liar! The TV said not to worry because it wasn't that bad. We've told you before. That's only if you get the appropriate treatment. One of the nurses just told me you were dizzy. I just felt a little anemic because of dinner. It was late. I'm just fine. Let me go home. The woman was about to get ready to grab the doctor by the throat. Several female nurses held her back and then dragged her out her summer with reassuring words. It scared me. Do you think Fubuki is okay? The girls hurried over faster down the hallway. Fubuki was in a four-person room at the very end of the hallway. We hesitantly peeked inside. That voice. We could hear the moaning coming from behind the curtains. It sounded like Fubuki's bed. Mario went pale and hurriedly ripped them open. Fubuki! Fubuki made a strange noise and spun around as we came in. I looked closer and saw that she was sitting on the bed with her legs crossed, watching a show on the LCD TV attached to it. Her eyes were red and swollen with tears, but given the fact that she had a stick of Pocky in her mouth, she was probably just crying over a soap opera. Huh? Oh, you guys came to see me! Fubuki wiped away her tears and welcomed us with her usual smile. You scared Masu! I saw you were crying. You really scared us. Sorry. Even though she apologized, she tossed another chocolate-coated stick into her mouth. Her hair was tied up, and she was wearing some kind of headgear. At first, I thought she was just too lazy to do her hair, but evidently not. There were cords coming out of the headgear that were attached to a belt around her waist. Were they monitoring her brainwaves? As unobstructedly possible, I took a look at the other patients around the room. They were all wearing the same headgear. They may have been giving it all to the anesthetic patients. Sorry to bring everybody over, Fubuki. Not at all. You're very welcome, and I didn't think Okurin would come. Fubuki stared at me intently. She'd never done that before, so I started to wonder if there was something on my face. Well, it's obvious that she probably also remembers the Soviet Union world line too, so... They say you collapsed like I did, so I got worried. How are you doing? Just fine, really. I don't understand why they won't let me leave. Every day, they just do the exams, and there's nothing for me to do. I'm so bored. And you're not allowed to use your phones in the room. If I wanted to send a text, I would have to go all the way to the lobby, and they turned off the lights at 9, so I can't watch late night anime. I really just don't believe this. Her bed was surrounded by portable game consoles, magazines, a miniature DVD player, and anything to starve off boredom. And given all the half-empty boxes of snacks, it's hard to believe that the disease was as serious as they said on the news. Are you okay, Okurin? Yeah. I told Maru this, but I'm fine. glad. She seemed truly relieved, but she was still staring at me. And suddenly Kadede started to fidget. Not only that, she blushed and glanced at me and then almost started to cry. She was acting really weird. What's going on with Kadede? Kadede? What's wrong? Kadede started fidgeting even more when she realized that everyone was looking at her, but she had no choice but to go over and whisper something in Fubuki's ear. Huh? Fubuki? Shh. The other girls tried to quiet Fubuki down. This was a hospital, and there was other patients in the room. We couldn't make a fuss. But listen to this, everybody. Miss Kadede Kumurura here suspects me of secretly dating Okarin. What? That's crazy. No. I have a scientist lady to go to. Or a scientist lady at least. I don't know. Her attractiveness is subjective. I mean, I think Maru is pretty cute. Majo is pretty cute. So. Now we're back to being cringy. Welcome back to the cringy world line. You got two word lines. You got cringe and you got war. Take your pick. Now it's our turn to keep from shining in surprise. Where are you getting that from? According to Maru, you were the only one. You're the only ones who wanted to come see Fubuki today, right? For completely different reasons, Kadede. That's true. It was another reason, but I couldn't say that. And Fubuki and Okarin were staring longly at one another. Well, we were not staring longly at one another. That's not it. Fubuki tried to scratch her hair, but the headgear blocked her way and she gave up. That's this really realistic dream. Realistic dream? I was startled. That may have been what I wanted to find out. It was sometime this evening. I was kind of spacing out. There's just nothing to do around here. And then somehow, I don't really remember, but me and Okarin and Yuki were all taken somewhere in a car by these scary men. I was there too? Yeah. It was the same. That meant Fubuki has experienced the same things I've gone through in the other world line. And this evening would be the same time as I was experiencing it. I peeked through the curtains to make sure that none of the hospital staff were around. Sorry, guys, but can you leave me alone with the staff for a bit? Don't worry, we're not gonna do anything scandalous. Thanks for the raid. Nichira? Tehera? I'm sorry, I'm really bad with usernames. But anyways, hello. How was your stream? What were you streaming? Let me give you a shout out here. So what were you doing? How was your stream? Did you have fun? Do you have any clips you want to share with us? No, but I feel bad when I don't say names correctly. I see. It's like it might be a little bit. It's okay. You don't have to share if you don't want to. That's why I give the. That's why I give the option if you don't want to. If you don't want to, if you don't want to share clips. That's why I give the option instead of the. Okay. So here's the thing. I really don't like it when you go raid somebody and it's just like a random clip of theirs shows up. And for me, it's personally too. Is like I have clips from back when before I was a VTuber, and it's like, do I really want to deal with that? No, it's like I go raid friends, and it's like that's like really embarrassing stuff. Yeah, I really don't like it. So that's why I got the idea from a friend, actually from a friend of mine. He's my I could say he's my streamer because I moderate for him. So, and he always asks if people have like clips they want to share, and like if like you don't have any clips to share, and if you don't want to share any clips, you don't have to, free will, you don't have to. No way, it's not like that. Thanks for the follow. Nee? I'm just gonna call you Nee. It's since you say there's no need to say it correctly. Yeah. I wasn't really sure how to handle that reaction. So is it something you don't want Mashu and everyone else to know about? It's about her disease. Okay, I understand. Marunaru went outside to the curtains. The others too looked bothered, but they followed her. Um, Nagisa, did this dream of yours take place in Okinawa? Huh? Yeah, that's right. I think it was Okinawa. I think I saw a sign that saying so when I was in the car. Inside the car, there was you, me, and Yuki. Then the driver, and the short man who was an FDC soldier. Yeah. The man's name was Shoshimoya. Oh, sevens for him, man. He may have died in the other world line, but we salute him. Also, he kind of tricked them, but whatever. Fubuki suddenly went pale. A dream about being in a car in Okinawa, it could be written off as a coincidence, but knowing that the exact name of the man in that shared dream was a different matter entirely. How? Why? The man talked to you about waking dreams and the president of Russia. That's right. And we were taken to a U.S. military base. There, you met up with Maru and the others, and said goodbye to me. Fubuki was too stunned to speak. There was no room to doubt. My suspicions turned into a certainty. Fubuki had stronger reading signer than most people, and remembering the other world line as a relatively realistic dream. In the dream, that Shomaya guy said that you and I both had memories of another world. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I hesitated for a moment, but then I gave her a brief explanation of my own reading signer abilities. The one thing I wanted to make sure that she understood was that her dreams weren't caused by an illness, but her reaction wasn't what I expected. Then there may be other who aren't sick too. They are? There's nothing to do, so I talk to the others a lot about the dreams we have. And sometimes it's just amazing how similar they are. There's a kid in elementary school who's in the next room. We became friends. They say that they've never been to Okinawa, but they had a dream that they were there. Tokyo had burned down, and the self-defense forces saved them and took them there. I see. Oh no. If that was true, then it wasn't just Fubuki. There's other patients who have been kept in the hospital for no reason, who didn't have any kind of disease at all. Should I talk to the doctors? No. I don't think they'd believe you. And if they started to think that your delusions were getting worse, you're right. You shouldn't tell the others yet. You don't want there to be a fuss. Yeah. And then Yuki poked her head through the curtain. Okabe, a nurse is coming. Visiting hours are over for today. I looked at the clock. It was well past 8. Sorry for being in such a rush, Fubuki. Next time we'll come earlier, so we have more time. Ashimashi! Don't go! But the nurses will get mad. Let them get mad. Sleep with me tonight. Fubuki was back to her usual self. She grabbed Mario's hand and held it tight. Kadede chuckled and forced her to let go. Don't be selfish. We'll come as often as we can. That's not good enough! Come tomorrow! And the day after! As soon as school's over! I'm so bored I could die! Fubuki failed her arms and legs about, but it was a bit too deliberate if you ask me. Kadede pat her on the head. Right. Bye. Mario and Yuki went over to pet her too. Before long, she looked like a little puppy in a kennel being petted. We left her behind and exited the room. Yeah, don't feel like you have to stay, honestly. Like, I get people. Honestly, for me, the most part is, it's like, yes. I was like, I'm the type of person who watches. Yeah, of course. So I am the type of person who will play the game and then watch the anime. So, like, I played the first game, then I watched the first anime. Now we're playing Zero, and then when I'm done with Zero, I'm going to, probably find and watch the anime. So yeah, not a problem if you want to head out and not worry about spoilers. I totally understand it. So I was lost asleep, and before I did, I turned around and saw Fubuki staring at us from the bed. Our eyes met, so I nodded a little. It's okay. You're not sick, so don't worry. I don't know if she understood what I meant, but she nodded back. The hospital walls were strangely silent after visiting hours were over. Oh, we have a message. I want to talk in private. I'll wait for you to contact me. Something in the short message made me feel very tense. After I said my goodbyes to the others, I contacted Joshua. She told me to come to the rooftop of the radio building. When I arrived, she was standing silently on the dark roof. There was no trace of a smile on her face. Her eyes shone in darkness, and she glared at me. I felt a shiver run down my spine. This was not the Joshua I was used to. Maybe this was her true self. Whatever she wanted to talk to me about, I wasn't gonna like it. Sorry to bring you out here like this, Uncle Gurren. What do you want to talk about? Oh, I'm really not good at talking to people or trying to persuade them, you know. From the way she stumbled over her words, it was clear that she didn't. It was clearly something she didn't want to talk about. Just say it. That's what the old you would have done, right? Yeah, you're right. Are you trying to break this to me gently? I see. Thanks. It's not really like that. Shishima got a little annoyed and tired and tried to say something back to me, but ended up swallowing her words. To be honest, it was a bit of a shock at first. You were so different than the Shishiwa I know. I can't help it. When the world line changes, so does the environment you grew up in. And it changes your personality and how you think. Yeah. But I don't think that anymore. You're still the Shishiwa I know. No. I really am different. I'm not the Shishiwa you knew well, Uncle Okurin. Shishiwa? I followed you today. Followed me? That's right. All the way into the hospital. What did she say? Why would she do that? No, I knew the answer without even asking. There's only one reason she would do something like that. You realize that I would have jumped world. You realize that I jumped world lines? I always suspected that your reading Steiner might have activated on Christmas Eve. And not just then. Today, too. And now, I'm sure. I deliberately avoided telling Shishiwa that the world line had changed. It was obvious that she would react like this. Tell me, is this a different world line than it was before? What will you do with the answer? Just tell me! This is an order, Rentora Okabe. I gulped as I saw her pull a gleaming pistol out of her jacket. It was aimed right between my eyes. This is a joke, right? I wouldn't do this as a joke. It felt like Shisha was just trying to refer to who she was when I first came to the Beta World Line. A woman who put her mission above everything else. She was so desperate, it hurt to even look at her. What would happen if she shot me here? I imagined myself lying on the ground in a pool of blood. In my mind, the image overlaps Kasaru's dead body. I mean, Shishua, if you killed me, who would go back and save the future and save your world line? I closed my eyes and gritted my teeth, trying to avoid a flashback. I spent the last months trying to escape Okuraara in the middle of war, but I still wasn't used to having a gun pointed right at me. I'll ask you one more time. Did the world line change? Is this a different world line than it was before? But Shishima's hands were shaking a little as she held the gun. It would have been unmanageable when she first came here from the future. Maybe she was ashamed of it, but because she was a bit down on her teeth even harder. She must have bit down on her lip when she did so, because a single trail of blood ran down her jaw and dripped onto the ground. I stared at the blood as I answered. Don't worry. We're in the same world that line we were in before. You sure? Yeah. It's true that the world line moved once, but we came back, I think. Who was responsible? Russia? I think so. Which means they finally started experimenting with the time machine. I nodded. Then, there's no time to waste. If they keep experimenting, something will happen that can't be changed. It might close the path to STEINS Gate. It said the name of the game. I'm a fool. I shouldn't have wasted time worrying. I'm done trying to get you to change your mind. What will you do? Rento Okabe, you're going to follow my orders. You are coming back to July 28th with me. And if I refuse, I won't let you refuse. Are you okay with that? What? Are you okay with erasing this world line? Shut up! There was a horrible ringing in my ears as a fierce pain in my eardrum. A second later, a smell of gunpowder passed by my face. She really shot at me. Next time, it won't be a threat. I will shoot you. She was glaring at me as if she was about to cry. We stared at each other in silence. I tried as hard as I could to come up with something to calm her down, but nothing came to me. Nothing I could come up with would get her to change her mind. What should I do? Shishua Okarin, what are you doing? Suddenly I heard Dara's voice. I turned and saw that he just came out the door near the stairs. Dad! How? I got a message from Rushi and Amashi. They say you contacted Okarin. I had a bad feeling, so I decided to look for you. And then I got a message from an unknown sender. An unknown sender? They sent me an URL that led me to the map of this place. I thought you might be here, so I came right over. Then I heard a gunshot. It really scared me. Dara's whole body was covered in sweat. Even as he spoke, large beads were appearing on his forehead. He must have really hurried. So, Shishua, what's with that gun? I wanted him to sound like a stern dad. Be like, what are you doing with that gun, Shishua, my daughter? Shishua wasn't actually... You wouldn't fire a gun if you didn't have a reason. Duh. Come on, Shishua. Out with it. Dad, you know what it is? What's that? The world line changed. Russia's starting experimenting with the time machine. So, are you sure? That's why I'm doing this! At this rate, it'll be too late to do anything. We won't reach STEINS Gate. We won't be able to stop the Third World War. And the people will die. Mom will die. And I won't be able to stop any of it. That would be really bad. But still, even if you threaten Okarin and force him to go back to the past with you, is that really going to work? Zara's normal easygoing expression has suddenly turned serious while he's talking to his daughter. Since I started to research the time machine and the world lines, I kind of figured out something out. I think Okurin might be right, and it may be impossible to save Makishi the normal way. But
fool the world, change the world. Fool yourself, change the world.
That's how the end game goes. At least that's how I remember it going. Now you're saying it too, Dad? If rules and casualty of the world lines could be changed that easily, Okurin should have been able to save Mashishi in the Alpha world lines, right? Oh, Marushi. The school of thought that says that all things have a cause and effect. The idea is that it's core of a relativity theory. However, it has been observed in the micro scale world of quantum mechanics that casualty does not always apply. What am I supposed to do? Zara brought his fist up to his chest. That's what we're researching, right? But there's no time! It's okay. Just leave it to me. I'll figure something out. I promise. I wish you'd listen to your dad once in a while. Zara's voice was strong and kind in a way you'd never imagine he was capable. He softly took the gun from Chishiro's hands. Like, no, daughter, you are not allowed to have guns. No firearms. She didn't resist. Here, you forgot something. That's more important than a gun. On cold days like today, you should be wearing these. Zara took something out of his pocket. He pressed it onto Chishiro's hands. Wait. It was a pair of hamming gloves. It's the present that Yuki has given her at the Christmas party. I remember it well. When he gave her the gloves, a warm tears started flowing down her face. I don't know what to do anymore. Yeah. Dad. Chishiro's shoulders shook as the tears poured down. I turned my eyes towards the time machine and a silhouette in the darkness. I decided I'm not getting it back in there, in that thing. No matter what Daru said, no matter how Shishiro threatened me, I wasn't going back to the past. I can't look back. The next thing she knew, Shishiro was inside the time machine, wrapped up in a blanket. She must have been crying a lot because she hasn't even noticed that she came inside the time machine or that Orantoro left. Her dad was next to her. He was also wrapped up in a blanket. He was looking at her. Have you calmed down? I miss it. She wiped away the tears as she asked. It's almost a new day. Sorry to keep you out this late. It's fine. I told you before. You can't always count on your dad. Oh, you can't always count on your dad. Yeah. The time machine's hatch was still open and the cold air was pouring in. Each time they spoke, they could see their breasts turn white. The machine was still silent. they could use the life support system in the cockpit to keep it out to cold, but she didn't want to waste the energy. She rubbed her cheeks with her glove-coated hands. The gloves Yuki gave her were very warm, and her hands were one part of her that wasn't cold. You know, I think someday Okarin's going to work with you. Us. No, he's going to be our leader. Shishiwa was a little surprised to see Ataru was speaking seriously. Normally, all I try to do is screw around. The future gadget lab only exists because of Okarin. He's having a hard time right now, but he'll get over it, and then Komohomura will revive. You know, the name the Phoenix isn't just for show. And when that time comes, Okarin will probably get in the time machine himself, without needing you to tell him to. Chishiro realized that Daru was trying to make her feel better. Suddenly, deep in her heart, she felt a little warmer. Dad, do you realize how embarrassing things he's saying are? Yeah, you're right. No way I could say that in front of Okarin. I'm going to write a letter to Uncle Okarin before tomorrow. If I try to talk to him directly, I'll end up acting weird again. I'll tell him I'm sorry, and then I'm going to keep fighting a little longer. So I want him to just think about it. But still, there's really not a lot of time left. Not a lot of time, because Russia started their experiments. You see, the internal battery for the quantum computer that controls the time machine is just about to run out. Quantum computer, a computer capable of using quantum mechanicals to overlap, performing parallel processing. While modern day computers switch between two zeros and ones to perform their calculations, the quantum computer is capable of calculating these two signals at the same time. This allows it exponentially faster calculations to the point where it's expected that the quantum computing will change everything about the world we know it. But particle quantum computers have not yet been built. Seriously? I told you, I used the machine a lot, starting in 1998, in order to look for Kakagari. That wasn't part of the original plan. Of course, that meant I had to use the computer that controls the machine more than I meant to. And that drained the battery? The battery is actually closer to running out than the fuel. It'll be hard to make the machine jump the way it is supposed to. If it's just the battery, can't we swap it or recharge it? No. Can I take a little look at it? Shishua nodded and pointed to a piece of the core of the machine. Daru leaned his huge body towards it to take a look, but soon he gave a moan of confusion. What is this thing? The battery was the same size as a car, but it was the product of a 2036 technology, and Daru lived in the year 2010. Well, 2011 technically now, so there's probably no way he could understand it. From Daru's perspective, it might have well been a black box of unknown technology. A quick look wouldn't tell him anything about how it was built or how it works. That was the one reason why Shishua agreed to let him look at it. I don't think you can do anything with 2010 technology. It's basically the same as the disposable battery. You can't charge it and you can't swap it out. Can you replace it with a battery or a generator from this time? Shishua shook her head helplessly. I tried that a long time ago, but it didn't work. I asked Bix's roomie to get me a car battery, one of the big ones they use in the trucks. I hooked it up and it didn't last a second. What did you just say? I tried a gas-powered generator and it didn't work either. I can't even imagine how much gasoline you need. And we can't even fit that much gas inside the machine anyways. Bix's roomie went through a lot of trouble to get me one of the latest fuel cell batteries. But even that wasn't good enough. Future tech is amazing. All that power in something this small. R2 was staring in amazement at the futuristic battery. If only we could use the garbage as fuel, like in that one science fiction movie. So how long is it going to last? Probably 1 or 2 more jumps at most. That's all? And even while the machine shut down, still calculating gravity fields and professional coordinates constantly. Even if we don't jump, the battery will eventually run out. We got another 6 months of battery at most before we lose the next ability to do an accurate jump. So that's all the time we have to save Kasterumaki. Shishio grabbed onto Atsu's back and took a deep breath. It was squishy, and it felt good. What happens if the battery runs out and we can't control the machine? We lose control of the Care Black Holes and are trapped beyond the event horizon for eternity. As known as Shishio's radius, a point past no information can be transmitted. Information transmitted occurs via light and electronical waves, but the incredible gravity at the center of the black hole makes it impossible for even light to escape. The boundary at which this occurs is in the event horizon. Anything that occurs inside the event horizon cannot be observed from the outside. Since no light can escape, the center of a black hole appears black. A Kir black hole. A black hole whose existence is predicted by current theories of physics. Unlike other black holes, the singularity at its center rotates. While other black holes have their singularities at a single point, the Kir black hole's ring singularity is a ring. Don't even say that stuff. It's bad luck. Yeah. Sorry. But I wonder what it's like. I wonder if it's calm and quiet like this, and if it just stays that way for eternity. Maybe that wouldn't be so bad. As she clung to her father's warm back, Shishwa started to feel very sleepy, and as she let her guard down for a moment, she was sure to fall asleep. She's been trained to fight on the battlefield, but this wasn't the battlefield, and she was exhausted from crying. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad to let herself sleep once in a while. She sat down and held her knees like a child and softly closed her eyes. I see. So she was leaving before summer ends. No matter what Okarin decides. Just before she fell asleep, she thought she heard her father talking to himself. Truly paradise! Milo's eyes were shining like the little girl's. Not many girls would look at that if you brought them to a place like this. I was the one who brought her here, but she seemed to have forgotten about me entirely. She was wandering down the narrow corridors where all the computer parts were, as if in a daze. Then she came back and stopped in front of one of them. Inside the shop, there was lots of little plastic bins filled with junk parts of all sizes. They had been taken off of the discarded PCs and appliances. Each of them were obviously dirty, and lots of them were covered in dust. What's this board do? You think, it's got a beautiful pattern, like a piece of art. And it's made out of aluminum. Oh. Yeah? What? And an FEXA image sensor? I can't believe it! This belongs in a museum! What's it doing here? Yeah? Akabara's even more amazing than I saw here. Watching the ecstasy on Maru's face creeped me out a little. This is who Maru really is. Casper spoke from inside my phone. Maru said she wanted to go out with Casper today. And so I ended up going on a strange date with two girls at once. Ocarin, you saw that dog! This might be another test about Amadeus's capabilities. I've been here a few times, but only ever seen one other person starting lovingly at computer parts like that. I know, you're talking about Hashida, right? Yeah. I feel kind of bad for Mao. If you're comparing him to her to him. Nah, nonsense, don't get along great. Apparently. From what you said, he's an incredible pervert. He's a perverted gentleman. And he's a dad. Kind of. That's right. That was rude of Hajo. That was rude to Hajo. It was early afternoon on a Sunday. There was a reason I come to with Maru to the computer parts shop. Dr. Luskin and Maru were heading back to America in a few days. She was leaving soon, so she wanted me to show her around Akabara like I promised. That's what her message had said. So we met in front of the station in the morning, and I asked her where she wanted to go, and this was the result. By the way, our first stop was Yobata Ashi, and our second was Sophomore. I'd already taken her to a lot of used PC and retro PC shops, tucked away in tiny alleys. Do you like these kinds of computer parts, Hajo? It's not the parts, really. I just like the building things. I used to make plastic models all the time when I was a kid. A kit made of plastic parts, but together we're following a manual. Nice. Did you make a German radios and stuff? A radio that uses Germanized refractors requires no power supplies. This term can also refer to the kits used to build them. Since they're simple enough for anyone to build, they are a common choice for elementary school summer break projects. I burnt myself soldering all the time. A mixture composed mostly of lead and tin that used to join metals components together. We're learning! Whee! That's what STEINS Gate's all about. Trauma and science! Trauma and science science education. I don't know how well I should really be saying that, though. But that's how it is. Me too. I guess everybody's the same way, aren't they? No. Probably not everybody. Actually, I assume that was the minority of people who saw them in their homes growing up. Wow! I could stare at this stuff forever! Why didn't I come sooner? I wonder. I felt like she was never going to leave unless I dragged her out. I finally managed to succeed in getting her away from the parts of the shop by telling her it was time to eat. Aha! The most refreshing thing to a girl. Food. That's true. If you, the way to my heart is food. I don't know if I should be admitting that. We went out to the main road. This area was close to the station, so it was especially crowded. Thanks to the crowds of people waiting for to cross the street, you couldn't even walk in a straight line. Now then, where to eat? To Maid Queen! Yes, that's what we want to do. We want to bring artificial intelligence to a goddamn makeup. My first idea was make Queen Square nah, but after the way she reacted last time, it's probably best to avoid it. No! Bring the AI with you this time. Still, Sampo wasn't a good choice for someone who's new to Akabara. Ganshin, maybe Ketchiguro, Gogo Kiri could work too. A curry chain based out of Kansanasha, Ikubashwa. It has stores all over Japan, but primarily in the north and eastern parts of the country. It offers Katsu Kiri, which is famous for its thick Roblox and katsu and cabbage on top. A restaurant chain found in downtown Tokyo as well as Kansi. It has a popular combo menu that offers a large amount of delicious food. In addition to the restaurant, offers delivery service. Nice. As I said, they're thinking. Oh. Is she gonna suggest Maid Queen? I stopped moving in front of the arcade directly in front of us. She also a gamer? Cause we be gaming too. We be gaming too. Evidently, she was looking at the crane game in the first floor. Can we take a little look inside? I nodded. Mara walked up to the crane and pressed her face against the glass like a little kid. Inside the glass, there were characters from the ad channel memes, of all different sizes. Maybe Maru was secretly an ad channel or like Katsuru. They were pretty close, so it's possible. I leaned over to Maru and whispered a little magic spell into her ear. Nopo. Oh, that ad channel thing. It started on the programming board as a short for a null pointer, and now has no meaning whatsoever. Whenever someone says it, it's traditionally someone else. Tradition someone else's response. It's like, ah! Huh? Ah, maybe she's not an ad Chandler. I just confused her. What? What's a no? What? Nothing. Forget it. Not an ad Chandler. So she's not an ad Chandler. Oh, I should take off the sunglasses. We're inside now. Up. I must have accidentally hit the backspace. Caster is glaring cold daggers at me from inside the smartphone, but I decided to ignore it. Hachijo, do you want that stuffed animal? Yeah, it's cute. Isn't it, Caster? Mom! I think Maha knows that she's an ad Chandler. What? Why do you look so flustered? Oh, she doesn't know. She doesn't know that Caster who's an ad Chandler. Actually, she does. It's nothing. I'm a little surprised, honestly. You just said you liked the computer parts, so I figured your taste would be more boyish. Okabe! You need to learn some tact. Say something romantic, like the gap between my exception and your reality is really cute. Sorry, that's the girl who's never been on a date in her life. It's fine, really. Actually, Casper had one of these stuffed animals in her bedroom. Did she? Did she buy it off the internet and have it shipped to America? Does it really matter? I guess you can tell she's a secret ad channeler. What? An ad channeler? Never heard of it. Don't lie. Nipple. Gotcha, Kazuru. Even a part of Amadeus, too, she hasn't changed a bit. Ajo, did Kazuru ever tell you what kind of character this was? No. He asked several times. And he kept dodging the question. Ha 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 ha. I'm sure. So I always kind of wondered. And do you know Okabe? Well... well... A chill ran down my spine as I heard the angry voice from the smartphone. I don't actually know. Ha 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 ha. I see. Sheesh. I defended your honor, Kazuru. You better be grateful. Can I give it a try? She's like a child, and I love it. Mara took out her wallet from her pocket and pulled out a 100 yen coin into the machine. You move this arm back and forth to grab stuffed animal, right? Have you never done this before? Rose only ever plays racing games. That's right! Maru nodded and pushed the control button meant to move the arm directly over her target. She smiled satisfied. It's simple. Now you just wait for the arm to automatically grab it, right? Oh, well, normally, yeah. The arm went straight for the doll, but the angle was slightly off and it didn't grab it right. That doesn't make sense! What just happened? I think I have my favorite CG of this game. That's what happens if it happens your first time. Maru gave it several tries, but it didn't seem to get the hang of it. Ah! She groaned and took out her last 300 yen to the back of the arcade. She walked over to a game with a red and white two-tone Formula car on the side of the cabinet. She slid inside, still angry. I remember that's one of the CG racing games based off of real circuits. Okabe? Okabe! What is it? That's your chance to show your manliness. Oh, so Kazuru's gonna be like, you win her that prize, okay? you go the real romantic thing and just be like, this is how you remember me when you go back to America. My manliness? Get that stuffed animal that Mom couldn't get. Oh, I see. and then give it tomorrow. Is that what she's trying to say? Manliness aside, after seeing how badly she wanted it, I did want to try and help her. I took some coins out of my pockets and checked how much money I was carrying. Okay, it's been a while, but let's try this. But honestly, I'm not very good at these games either. Even so, I was sure I could do better than Mao. May as well give it a try. Oh, do I actually get to do it? Oh, no, I don't. I like how cops are just kidding. No! You can do it, I'll get in! And so after trial several times, whether it was luck or skill, I managed to get that stuff in real easier than I expected. Okay! Nice! I stuffed it into a bag and went back to the racing game where Mario was playing. For some reason, there was a crowd of 10 people around it. Wow! Who is that girl? Don't ask me. Is she in elementary school? I can't believe how good she is. Think she'll set a new record? The crowd was whispering one to one another. All of them seemed to be amazed. I made my way into the crowd and kept looking at the screen. The game Mara was playing was one of those where you had to clear each stage in a set time or else it'd be game over. As each race, the course got more and more difficult, and she was placing first every time with ease. As the crowd watched in awe, she finally made it to the end of the last stage, and well ahead of the other racers. She set a new record. Phew. She had a satisfied smile on her face as she looked at the flashy "Congratulations" graphics on the screen, and then she noticed the crowd around her and her body jerked. Congratulations! You set the record for our store! An arcade employee walked over to Mara and started to clap. Then the crowd started to clap as well. Huh? Huh? Mara's face went beet red. I should probably help her. I pushed my way through the crowd and grabbed her hand to pull her up. Let's go. Oh, yeah! I'd never seen her this obedient before. We made our way through the hustle and bustle, and finally got out of the arcade. Ma sighed in relief. Phew, that was careless of me. Oh, what was? I got mad. I got serious. Because of this? I handed her the bag with my prize in it. What? She opened the bag and took out the stuffed animal. This? You got it? I got lucky. You can have it as a present. Really? It won't do me any good. Really? Okay. I'll take it then. Myra hugged the doll tight to her chest with the innocent smile of a child. Seeing how happy she was made me happy too. After Coster died, her mom showed me lots of the things she left behind. But this was something that Coster really loved. Her mom kept it in her own bedroom. If you didn't know, it was from an Aunt Channel meme. It was actually pretty cute. I could see her keeping it as a memory of her daughter. But after what happened to Coster's house, I'm sure it burned up too. Wow. Look, can I give this to her mom in America? Of course. If you think she'll like it, that would be the best. Thanks. Okay, what's next? Any place else you wanna go see? Though I guess you wouldn't be interested in anime or game stores. Caster, I'm sorry, but can you leave me alone with the Okabe for a little bit while? Mara? You finally decided to be honest with yourself? Okabe, don't screw this up. Huh? Good luck, Mom! Bye! Hajo? There's one more place I want to go. Yeah, where is it? Is it someplace you didn't want Katsuru knowing about? You can guess where, right? You want to go to the lab. Got it. Let's go. The smile was gone from Mao's face. She looked like she came to some kind of decision. And then I realized where she wanted to go. Take me to the radio building. Okay, that's not where I thought that was going. The radio building. She wanted me to take her there. I understood immediately. Because that's where Katsuru Masuki had died. I've gone up to the roof several times since then. The time machine was there, and Shusho and Daru would go once in a while to do maintenance. Just a few days ago, Shusho had called me out there and pointed a gun at my face. But even so, I'd never been to that storeroom on the 8th floor where it happened. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Just remembering what happened was enough to cause several flashbacks, and there's no way I could visit the site of her death. Are you okay? You look really pale. Are you thinking about Katsuru? Yeah, I guess so. You don't have to come with me if that's going to be hard for you. Go by myself. But her face was colorless. Going there had been hard on her too. Even so, she was trying to come to grips with Katsuru's death. I wanted to help her remember our friend. The radio building was going to be renovated. There wasn't a lot of time. No. I'll go with you. Half the shops have already been moved to another building to make way for the reservations, but many of the shops on the 7th floor were still open. I had that gas machine. 6 months ago on July 28th, I killed Katsuru on the floor just above where I was standing. With my own hands. Is this the place? No. It happened on the next floor. That's what I was told. I wasn't supposed to be at the scene of Katsuru's death. I already asked Maru and Daru not to tell anyone. What's upstairs? An event hall. And some storage rooms and stuff. Can we go up there? It should be off limits right now. But the rope that has always blocked the way to the 8th floor wasn't there today. I could hear loud voices and laughter from above. Since it was a day off, there must have been some kind of event going on upstairs. It looks like it's okay. Myra headed up the stairs first. I slowly dragged myself up the stairs. We passed by the event hallway into the back. It looked like there was no one around. Nothing had changed in 6 months. This is it. There was no lights on, and the place seemed dark and lonely. This time, the storage room was locked. I see. There was a place like this. I could see her limbs trembling as she whispered. It seemed strange. This was the place where Caster had died, covered in blood, and yet nearby the rest of the world continued on like it didn't care. And now I come back, even though, I'm really sorry. I don't know Japanese. This is an English only chat. So I'm going to have to. Oh! I don't think really now's the time for Maru's. Now I've come back, even though this time where the one I loved had died. It's frustrating. What if physicists? I don't know about all there is to know about relativity theory, but space and time are essentially the same thing. And why can't we move through time as easily as we can move through space? Spaciously, we're on the same axis as Caster's dust, but that tiny little gap on the temporal axis means there's nothing we can do about it. You asked Caster. Oh, I mean, the Amadeus Caster. An interesting question before. Thanks, Joseph, for the follow. Everybody, make sure you go give some love to Johnson. They are great people, and I have played games with them before, and they are so fun. And how is Stardew? Do you have any clips you want to share? And I forgot it's an actual shout out command I can use with thanks to I can use thanks to, and so yeah, you guys make sure to go follow. She's awesome and lovely, and yeah, yeah, as one does. What I know? No, not really. I don't really play Stardew. I played a little bit before, but Stardew is like one of for me. It's like I tried to play Stardew before, but it's just like I could only get into it if I was I was only able to get into it via with playing with friends. So, and I haven't played with them in a while. So, well, I haven't played Stardew with them in a while. I play games with them like every Friday. So. Where is it was possible to create a time machine? Yeah. I'd love it if you could look into it. I'd volunteer for the first mandated test. I couldn't tell from the tone of her voice if she was serious or joking. She laughed sadly. Time machines are real, you know. And there's one right above us. I know! I want to return to farm! Yeah, that's what we named our farm. So creative, right? Thanks for the follow. Following with Alex. What would she do if I told her that? Would she blame me for giving up on saving Caster and say she'd go back to the past herself? Creativity! who died? I don't know the details. I don't really know myself. Didn't I tell you that before? You know more than I do, right? I was in America. What was Custer doing in a place like this? On the day she died, there's an event going on. It's the one happening now, right? We could hear the occasional sound of laughter coming from the event hall. Dr. Nakabachi. I made the news last summer. I heard that he saw a Salem in Russia, and he wrote a paper on time machines. Supposedly, the paper itself was terrible. Hey! Don't you dare diss your own friends at work like that. Because I believe, right, if I remember correctly, that he took Mosky's work. But that made me remember something. Those guys who set fire to Custer's house in America were speaking Russian. Is that a coincidence, do you think? I think the two events are connected somehow. So I've decided to look into Dr. Nakabachi. But strangely, there's barely any information on him. If you look online, you won't even find his real name. Most blogs and websites that talk about Dr. Nakabachi are gone now, and all of them disappeared in the last 6 months. Tell me, what the hell was Katsuru caught up in? Is it perhaps still going on? Are you hiding something? Her eyes were pure and sought the truth. Katsuru used to get the exact same look in her eyes all the time. But you shouldn't get involved. Out of curiosity. I'm done with all of this. It's too late. I'm already involved. And I've been wondering if the reason we were attacked before wasn't because of me. Okay, you're the only one who didn't get the gun pointed at you. Okay? What are you talking about, Mamo? The gun was pointed at the Mexican. The gun was pointed at me. You're the only one who didn't get pointed a gun at. Because of you? Is there a reason someone would come after you? And then she paused for a moment. I have some of Kasturu's belongings. Belongings? Some of Kasturu's belongings? What did you mean? Mama said that as after Kasturu died, she's gone to her home in America and retrieved some of her belongings from her mom. Was she saying now that the attack was because of that? My mom began to race. Russia. When Dr. Nakabachi saw asylum, the people who talked Kasturu's home spoke Russian. And just a few days ago, the Russians probably had experimented with changing the past. Shishua said the World War III would be set off by the time machine. The time machine. Nakabachi's paper. The paper he had written about the time machine. The cause of the Third World War. A miraculous and nightmarish paper that would cause the death of 5.7 billion people. The time machine he discussed at his press conference was a ripoff of John Titter's. But the one in his paper was different. I never managed to read it, though. But my guess was that Coster showed him the original that she had written on July 28th, and his paper was an inferior copy. Coster has written down instructions for making a time machine. I shuddered. I quickly booted up the writing program on my smartphone. I paged through my chat logs. That hard drive and that laptop contained data from the original version of Dr. Nakabachi papers. Maybe Coster's paper. Coster's laptop, hard drive, which were given to Daru. Was the person who gave them to him? I looked at Mao. She looked back at me without smiling. And she nodded. Yeah, it was me. From Mao's perspective, there was too many things about Coster's death that didn't make sense. Maybe that's why she decided to look into why Coster was killed. Of course, she assumed that there's hints hidden inside her laptop and hard drive. But if my hypothesis is right, that laptop was too dangerous to be allowed to exist. It was Pandora's box with the power to unleash the Third World War. Pandora's box, a box given to mankind by the gods in Greek mythology. We were told to never open it, but a girl named Pandora let her curiosity get the best of her and opened it anyways. The box was filled with disasters, all of which were unleashed upon the world. It said that the one thing remained in the box was hope. Oh, which is really funny because we're also playing Professor Layton in the diabolical box, and it's like, oh, and what was inside the box? Nothing. Why didn't you tell me? At first, I didn't know that you and Hashida were friends. It's really just a coincidence that I gave it to him. And it seems to me like you were hiding something about Casper's. Do you really think I'd tell you everything? It wasn't that I didn't trust you, but I thought it would be best to be cautious when it came to Costeru. Yeah, you were right about that. Was letting me test Amadeus part of your plot? Don't call it a plot. You were Coster's friend, and I just wanted to know more about you. And to find Coster's secrets. I wanted to know more about her. She glared right back as if challenging me. Has Daru cracked it yet? Not yet. That's why I wanted to talk to you before I headed back to America. So that's why she brought me here. I needed to call Daru right now. Phone or ring, which was better. You at the lab now? Nope. At home playing H games. What's up? I want to talk to you too about your secret job. Remember any info on the Makichi? Yeah. Oh yeah! Of course it was a lie that I remembered anything. He could be in danger if I didn't get that laptop back right now. I glanced over at Maho, but she didn't say anything. What is it? I'd like to talk in person. Can we meet at the lab? Can't wait until evening? You can play your H games later, man. Sorry, I lied about the H games. I'm actually busy at work. Then where are you really? If you can't leave, then I'll go to you. I need to talk right now. I didn't really want to tell you, but I do a lot of dangerous jobs. Well, whatever, fine. I'll tell you the location. Meet me there. Here. The location he gave me was still Nakabara. It was less than 5 minutes away. Down an alley, a few turns off the main strip, and the hustle and bustle of the crowd was completely disappeared. We were on the 7th floor in an old mixed-use building. We were in Akihabara at the center of Tokyo, in the middle of the day on a Sunday. Still, the alleyway we have come in seemed lonely and abandoned. There we found the shop Daru had told us about. We're all shady shops named like Drops of Spirit God Incorporated. Space. Space radio receiver sales. A follow pedal video project. I think that one might be. I think that one would be fine. You know. You ever been here before? No. Last time we met, it was in a different building. It wasn't much better than this one, though. I see. I felt like I seen Daru's dark side. The shop was completely silent. There was no customers other than us. There was a thin man with long hair at the counter who looked like he worked there, but he didn't even raise his head up from his magazine when we came in. To be honest, ever since I entered, I worried that someone would think I was up to something illegal. Anybody who saw me would think I was a perfect talking to a middle school girl was into a shady cosplay shop. Oh wow! I'm doing something illegal. No, I'm not. She's older. Hey, Okunin, over here! Daru appeared from the back of the shop. There has been no sign of him a second ago. Wait, Maho-chan's with you too? Huh? Would you stop calling me Maho-chan? Why? It's cute. Don't make me smack you over the head, Okunin. Daru. I feel like I'm being insulted. Forget that. Where did you come from, Daru? The man at the counter hadn't said anything, which means that they knew he was here. Come with me. Daru headed to the back of the store. One of the rows of hanger racks holding the idol cosplay outfits was pulled forward, and behind it I could see a curtain. Past the curtain, there was a tiny space that led to a door marked staff only. If the hanger rack hadn't been moved, I'd have no idea this was here. Like an old ninja mansion. Behind the door was a cramped office. Well, no, the room itself may have been pretty big, but the darkness made it feel very cramped. It was honestly hard to breathe. There was 4 desks in the center surrounded by a metal rack. The desks and floors were piled high with all manners of computer and paraphernalia. There were boxes and bags littered everywhere. I couldn't tell if they were trash or not. There were towers of magazines, games, plastic models, and figure boxes. And the desks were covered in garbage, just like the ones at the lab. It was too dark to tell, but I was sure the figures he had on display were all covered in dust. And what did he need 6 monitors for anyways? I get by with just 2! I would like... Well, I would say 1.5 because one's a TV screen that I literally have to look over my, shoulder for. Each of them displayed... It was the footage from the security camera. That's why you need 6. 6 security cameras, probably. Given the size of the store and the lack of customers, even 3 cameras would have been too many. Well, sit down, I guess. There's no place to sit down. I'll make you a space. Daru kicked aside some boxes on the floor to make a room, and set down 2 folding chairs. Wow, very professional! What's the deal with you in this shop? I kind of like the leader of us part-timers. I work for a lot of underground places like this. And so, sometimes they let us use their offices like this. For your secret job? Yup. Maybe there was a lot more to Daru than I thought. Is all the stuff in here yours? Nope. It's shared with the rest of the part-timers. I don't have enough money to buy all this stuff. Or so he says, but who knew if that was true? Huh? Oh, we can't ignore Coster this time. What is it? You're still with Mama, right? Oh, yeah. We're together. Why? What's up? I just heard from Dr. Lifskin. The office in Mako City has been ransacked by someone. What? And he just got a call from Maho's hotel. Someone raided it too. What did you say? You should hear from Dr. Liskin soon. But I wanted to tell you ASAP. Thanks, Katsuru. Daru and I are looking out for Hajo, so don't worry. That's right. I'm counting on you guys. Bye. I think Mara looked down and bit her lip. I think she's already too involved. What if she was the reason that World War III starts? This is what I was afraid it would happen. They're after Kosteru's laptop and hard drive. Huh? Seriously? We should probably move. I think this place is safe, though. I've got a bad feeling. Intuition, you could call it. Got it. Oh, and where's the laptop and hard drive? Dyer saws and grabs a locked fire-resistant case off of one of the racks. He opened it. Is that where he hid it? The laptop was a deep Japanese model with a 12-inch LCD screen. Hard drive was American from a brand known for equipping its drive with shock-resistant rubber cases. Let's take it and get out of here. Both Mara and Daru nodded silently. As soon as we left the building, I could see a car coming down the empty hallway. It was a big American RV. We quickly hid ourselves in the shadows of another building. My intuition was right. The RV stopped in front of the building we just left. 3 men came out. None of them were Japanese. They were all dressed in black suits, almost like MBIs. Men in Black, an American urban legend. It says that they are the secret government agents who appear without warning before UFO witnesses and researchers to put a stop to their activities. It's not known whether such a secret agency actually exists. The name comes from the fact that they all dress in black and wear black sunglasses. A movie of the same name, loosely based off the urban legend, helped popularize the idea. Whatever they weren't Akabara terrorists. That was close. Maru went pale when she saw the men going into the building. She seemed to be shaking a little too. Like a movie. I can't believe it's real. How'd they find out about that place? So, you sure you didn't screw up somehow, Daru? Who do you think I am? A super hacker, right? Hacker. Right. I'll make sure I don't get caught. Either that or Hajo and I were tailed. Don't scare me. They raided your office and hotel room in Wako City. I'm sure they've been watching you this whole time. Oh, right. Mao seemed suddenly remember something. She took out her smartphone and made a call. I need to contact the professor. You should tell him to hide somewhere for today. If we meet up with him, it could put him in danger. Maho nodded. Tora took Maru to Ferris's Nan's home. It was on the top floor of a high-rise building in the center of Akabara. If nothing else, it was more secure than the ancient building they'd just been in. Ferris welcomed the two of them, offering them food and a place to sleep. Daru returned alone to the future Gad's lab to meet up with Tsushima. The mere existence of this laptop could bring disaster. We should get rid of it. Once they both calmed down, she started talking to him about what they were going to do with Kasaru's computer. He didn't budge an inch. Usually he was an introvert who never pushed too hard for anything, but this time he was extremely stubborn. Of course, so was Mao. I at least want to crack the password and see what's inside. Right now, we can't do that, but there's no time for that. We should get rid of it, now. The best thing would be to destroy it. Destroy it? This is something Kasaru left us, you know. I thought you were a little more logical than this. I didn't think you were this cold. Maga's word made him flinch. Something bad happened to him. That's how it seemed to her. And it was easy to assume that it had something to do with Kasaru. So she decided to ask him why she hadn't gotten there out earlier, during the fuss this afternoon. You seem like you're hiding something about what happened to Kasaru. What I know doesn't matter. Maru could tell he wasn't going to share. If they hadn't been interrupted this afternoon, would he have told her? Anyways, what should we do with the computer? That computer isn't just something an old friend used to own anymore. It's the center of an international power struggle. What kind of crazy conspiracy is this? You still think it's a conspiracy theory after what happened today? You saw those foreigners in the black suits, didn't you? Your office and your hotel room were ransacked. Someone set fire to Kasaru's house. And then after that, your lab was visited by mysterious men claiming to be from the FBI. Then the attack at the hotel might have had something to do with this, too. No. All these impossible events keep happening, one after another. It's not a coincidence. But still, an international power struggle? The The whole thing just seemed like too much of a stretch for her. Trying to connect every single event was a trap that conspiracy theorists often fell into. But in fact, most things that happened didn't really mean anything. When she began to tell him that, what he said next surprised her. John Titters, the prophecy is going to come true now. John Titter? Mom had never heard that name before. A time traveler from the year 2036 who appeared on the American message boards 10 years ago. I know for a fact that he is real. I met him myself. Well, you met her before. John Titter says World War III will occur in 2015. The cause will be a time machine. Are you making fun of me? I'm being very serious. You wanted to know about Dr. Nakabachi, right? He's Kasuri's father. It's possible that Kasuri may have been involved in the paper he wrote. Well, what did you say? Mara read Dr. Nakabachi's paper out of curiosity. Last summer, he proudly announced his paper on time travel to the entire world just before fleeing to Russia. The paper itself, however, was so poorly written that it was of no value whatsoever. She couldn't believe that Kasuri might have been involved in writing it. But what if his version was an inferior copy of an original that Kasuri wrote herself? What's inside Kasuri's computer doesn't actually matter right now. What matters is that there is the people who want it. Give me a second. I need to process all of this. Could what Rentaro was saying be true? Of course we know it's true. We played... Most people here probably know the first game. She took a moment to think. Normally she wouldn't give something like this a second thought. But what has been happening around her lately wasn't just normal. She couldn't outright deny it. Besides, she was nursing a conspiracy theory of her own. I also thought that someone might be after this computer. But what you're saying is just so different than what I expected. What did you expect? I thought it might be about using Amadeus for military purposes. Military purposes? Pastor spent a lot of time at the biological police lab. She said sometimes she visited by people who looked like they didn't belong there at all. One of the labs at Victor University, while the Brain Science Institution attempts to understand the process behind the thought and memory by examining the systems used by the brain itself. The psychological lab's goal is more medical in nature. They develop new medical treatments by researching the biological and physical effects caused by the mind's work. The lab's research covers a wide range of areas, including perception, recognition, reflexes, learning, sleep, alcohol addiction, and the schizophrenia. Nailed it. Fucking nailed the pronunciation of that word. She said they were from the Department of Defense. DoD, the United States Department of Defense, also known as the Pentagon, due to the shape of the building it's located in. It's America's most highly level defense agency, responsible for controlling the Army, Navy, and Air Force. Can Amadeus kill someone? How? Well, for example, you could take the memories of a veteran pilot and copy them to use them to control drones. And remember what I said about medical applications? You mean copying memory data back to the brain? Yeah. If you could alter memory data and then send it back to the brain, you could make soldiers who didn't feel a fear or who could carry out any kind of an ethical mission without hesitation. My thoughts was that Coster had found proof that they were running experiments like that. Hey, the U.S. military aren't involved in researching Amadeus, are they? Of course not. Are you sure? You're just a scientist. You're not the head of the project. Dr. Liskin wouldn't let the military get involved either. You're right. Or would he? Dun dun dun! You guys know I've been saying this! Dr. Liskin is evil! I've been saying that since the beginning! Oh, that would happen in another world line. World line? What are you talking about? No. Forget it. I'm overthinking it. Things. He hadn't really seemed like he meant that. And it really bothered her. She wanted to hear more about John Titter, but he didn't tell her anything else. Since she couldn't crack the security on the Coster's laptop and hard drive, it did Mara no good to carry them. And just like Rantoro said, those attackers scared her. So she decided had no choice but to give. He didn't tell her whether he was going to destroy them or not. Maho, I'm so glad you're safe. Dude, I'm serious. This man is evil. Just draw some devil horns on him, and he's evil. Okay, maybe not that bad. He's probably not that bad, but you know. When she arrived at their office in Mako City, Dr. Liskin was already there. He came over and gave her a big hug. Professor! You're hurting me. Oh, sorry. Ha 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 ha. He heard that the office had been ransacked, but whatever happened has already been cleaned up. Did you clean up, Professor? It was ransacked, but only yours and my things were here, so there wasn't a lot to begin with. I left the rest in the hands of the police. 2 days has passed since the office had been ransacked. Maho spent them both of them at Ferris's home, and only today she got in touch with Dr. Liskin and gone to Wako City to get her things. They were both going back tomorrow, just as planned. That means they were saying goodbye to this office. They still haven't caught the guy who did it, right? Yeah. It's been one thing after another since we came to Japan, hasn't it? It sure has. The two of them looked around the empty office. It's been a busy 2 months. So what do you think, Maho? Japan's your other homeland, right? What do you make of it? I can't wait to get back and start on my research. I feel like I have been doing nothing but putting reports together for the past 2 months. Haha, you're so serious, Maho. That, and I'm glad I was able to experience the place where Coster spent her last days. Maho. But she still hadn't figured out why Coster had died. Actually, she had even more questions now. It bothered her to go home with so many questions left unanswered. If only Rantoro had told her everything he knew. Come to think of it, the thought suddenly occurred to Maho. What are we doing with Amadeus as tester? Of course, she means the Rentoro Okabe. Both Maho and Ling Sing were heading back to America. That means that his time as a tester was over. That's right. For some reason, the professor was taking a moment to think it over. She wondered what there was to think about. Why not have him continue being our tester? Huh? Are you serious? It's a fact that speaking with Linto has caused Katsuru to react in new ways, correct? And I am planning on adding additional testers in the future. Not just him. Is that safe from a security standpoint? Japan and America are too far apart. If something happens, we won't be able to deal with it. It'll be fine. I believe in Lintoro. It's not about whether you believe in him or not. If he stays on as a tester, you'll still be able to talk to him. You know. What? I don't have anything to do with this! Shut up, you love him. Well, here's the thing also, Maho. If you stay in contact with
Okabe, he will probably, eventually tell you everything he knows. And that how he killed Katsuru. Actually, probably not that part.
Are you sure about that? I'm sure! Then I'll take over the dealing with the Linto. That doesn't bother me. It still seemed like he wasn't telling her something, but she was too embarrassed to question him further. It surprised her, though, that he was still focused on the Rentoro. He seemed to have taken a real liking to him ever since they had first met. Did he simply like the guy, or was it simply because he was Katsuru's friend? Or was it something else? I'm telling you, he's evil! This man on the screen is evil! He's the big bad of the game! Okay, maybe not the big bad of the game, but he is the bad of the game. She didn't know. The next day, Mao and Dr. Luskin returned to America via Nata Airport, just like they planned. Rentoro has come to see them off, and he was very surprised when Dr. Luskin told him he could continue being a tester. And then a half a year passed. And that's where we're gonna end it tonight. Oh, no, I'm serious. I am gonna end it here. I am gonna end it here. Not only because I think it's a good place to stop, but my voice is getting my throat is getting sore. And like I said, tonight I could have gone longer, but I just, like I said, my voice. I was always going to be based off what my voice was, because I know I don't talk for like long periods of time usually, because I'm a shy introvert. Because like outside of work, outside of like streams and like online stuff, I'm really just a shy introvert. So it's just like, what do you want from me? So it's like kind of how I usually do it. So just how things go usually. So it's like, what do you want from me? It's like, I'm a shy introvert who just likes to play her murder mystery games. But things are going interesting. There's a lot of questions. And like I said, I still think Dr. Luskin is evil! Okay? Or at least not completely innocent. So, it's like crazy. So, like I said, I will be back on Saturday for
I'll be back on Saturday for something. What's that something? No clue. Again, thank you to Jorsum and Neat for the raid.
Very much appreciate both of you for sending your lovely communities to me. And in general, just thank you everybody for, joining in and having a good time and, enjoying the game with me. Because that's what we're all here for. Enjoying stupid games with lots of trauma. Anyways, I don't see anybody in whom I want to raid tonight. So I'm just going to call it here tonight. And I will see you guys on Saturday.